We got no food. We got no jobs. Our pets' heads are falling off.
Our pets' heads are falling off. Hey, what's up? It's the Huff. Hope you're having a great day. Hopefully no pets' heads are falling off, because that would be freaking horrifying. Anyway, again, hope you're having a great day. Got a lot to get into, but real quick, make sure you hit that subscribe button wherever you're listening. And remember, today's show is presented to you by NutriFit, by Natalie, as well as High Society Cannabis Dispo and Lounge, and of course, Bet Online. Bet Online is your number one source for all your sports betting needs this season, from baseball, golf, soccer, right up to the top fights in UFC or MMA and boxing. Every stat, every matchup, even live odds and spreads while the games are being played, which is really awesome that they do it that way. And when the games are over, head on over to their online casino and get in on the game of blackjack or poker, or even unwind with one of their over 150 slots. Ooh, you and those slots. Oh, that would you're going to get trouble, but in a good way. Oh, yeah. Head to betonline.ag today to get in on the action. Use promo code BLEAV. That's BLEAV for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. And Bet Online, the game starts here. Hope you guys are having a great day. I got to be honest, I'm feeling it. I just went to the pool earlier today with the kids. It's blazing hot out here in the Denver metro area. I was earlier in the day. My son realized what I got in my DNA. My dad had the nickname Pig Sweat when he was younger. Why? Because the irony is pigs don't sweat. They don't. So he sweat a butt ton. So his friends would call him Pig Sweat. You know, it's kind of like calling a big man tiny type of thing, or calling a little guy big guy type of thing. Well, anyway, his nickname was Pig Sweat. Well, I have that problem where I sweat so disgusting. It was my son and I were in the garage. We're fixing his bike and my daughter's bike, so his sister's bike, right? One, I'm teaching him how to I don't know much, but I know enough how to fix certain things on bikes. And I was teaching him how to do it, and it's crazy hot, and I'm just dripping sweat. I mean, gross amounts. And I'm showing him how to do something, and he just kind of, you can see him like slowly backing up, and then he looks at me and he's all, "Dad, you're dripping sweat." Like he wasn't like he wasn't grossed out about it, really. I think he was just in shock about it. Like, I don't know what I'm seeing here. It's disgusting. So it looked like I just jumped out of a swimming pool. It was gross. That's me. Okay, I'm a sweater. I am. Before we get into headlines, I was lucky enough to witness my son do something really freaking cool. And I'm not a huge fan of the Colorado Rockies, especially when you start talking about upper management and the ownership. The Monforts need to sell. I think anybody in Colorado can agree on that. Something needs to change because it's a joke. We don't need to go into the numbers and stat lines, all that stuff. We don't need to do it. The shit needs to change. But that being said, when it comes to the sport of baseball, there's just something magical about going to a field and watching a game. And my son played Little League. I've told you however many times this season, you know, the struggles with that and the ups, the downs, all that stuff. Well, one of the things they did at the end of the year was a bunch of the leagues from the Denver metro area, maybe even a little bit beyond, were lucky enough to attend a parade at Coors Field where the Rockies play, and they got to walk around the warning track, and it was really neat, and he got to experience it. So he, along with his teammates and other kids from around Colorado, got to walk on Coors Field and just see the game from a different angle, and it was really neat that he got to do that. It's something I didn't get to experience anything like that until I actually worked in media and I was able to cover Rockies games. in just it's one of the I'm not a huge baseball guy, but I still get chills and I still think of the fond memories of walking out of the dugout onto Coors Field. One of the coolest things, if not the coolest thing I've ever done in my career. So I don't know. It was really neat. I'm glad that he got to experience it. He had a smile on his face from start to finish. I posted a picture on Twitter and I said something to the effect of like memories were made and now he wants to go to more Rockies games. And a couple of people are like, "That's on you, man. You screwed that up." Like type of thing. Like, for a day, we we set aside our discomfort, our dislike, whatever you want to say with the Momforts, and I let my son have an experience. There's nothing wrong with that, okay? Listen, it was cool. It was a cool moment, and I'm glad he got to experience it. Life's about experiences, not me holding a grudge against the Momforts. Now, I mean, if he wants to go back, sure. That's the shit he's going to remember. He's not going to remember whether or not the Rockies were good or not. He's going to remember going to a baseball game with his friends. He's going to remember going on the field, with his teammates. He's going to remember going there with his father. So eat a dick, eat a dick. I thought it was fun. Well, it was cool too. So we're walking around. We're looking for before we're looking for where we need to set up, where we need to wait for his coach and stuff like that. We're inside Coors Field. And all of a sudden, this guy, listen, I'm no dummy. I wear my DeHuff Uncensored podcast shirt, okay? I had to. Always be promoting. Always be promoting, excuse me. And sure enough, it worked. All of a sudden, this guy comes up to me and he's all, "Hey, how's it going? Huge fan," whatever, something like that. And then my son goes, "Who are you?" Just like total, like, what the fuck are you talking to my dad for? It's so funny. And he's like, "Oh, sorry, I'm a listener to your dad on his podcast and all this stuff, blah, blah, blah." His name's Kelly. Kelly, thanks for listening. Kelly was super excited, just like I was, aside from my son trying to grill him. Be like, "Who the fuck are you? Why are you talking to my father?" But his grandson was out there as well, also played for Northern Lights. And it was a really cool moment to meet Kelly. And then I'm waiting in line for the coach to show up. And all of a sudden, somebody just slaps me on the ass. Who was it? A listener named Paul. "Paul, you slut. You slapped my hiney, and it felt good." I got to be honest. I was a little confused at the moment, but here we are. Anyway, it was a lot of fun. Listen, like I said, I had to set aside my distaste for the Montforts and just allow my son to have an experience, something that he's going to remember for the rest of his life. Because you just don't know if you're going to experience that again. You don't. Things happen. So anyway, speaking of things happening, let's jump into the headlines.
Let's go! And now, here are the headlines.
God, I got horrible allergies right now. Not that you care. Not if I slurp up a booger in the middle of this segment or this episode, I apologize. Type of thing out of my nose. Well, it happened again. I want to say last year there were several of these, maybe 2, 3, 4, something like that. Portland, Oregon, Oaks Park Amusement Park is the site for this incident. What is it? Another amusement park ride malfunctioned, and there was people riding the whatever ride it was. I don't know what it was. They were stuck upside down for 30 freaking minutes. And every article I've read, nobody said exactly how high up they were. But I'm guessing based off of the picture, it's roughly 50, maybe 70 feet. I'm not a good judge of distance. Listen, I was going to say just ask my wife, but anyway. I swear to God, that's like 12 inches. That's a foot. That's not a foot. Not a foot, honey. Anyway, what's crazy is so people were stuck upside down for about 30 minutes, and a lot of them were complaining of headaches, like extreme headaches, nausea, soreness, and several people vomited. By the way, as I say that, I'm like thinking that's got to be a horrible way to throw up, is if you're upside down, because it's probably going to go into your sinuses, don't you think? Oh God, I I'm missing what is that called? It's like a little flap on my tear duct. It had to be removed because I had something got in there and it was causing me to get like infections in my eye constantly. Just another dumb thing that's wrong with me. If I go underwater, you can see bubbles coming out of my eyeball. It's funny. But anyway, when I throw up, some of the stomach acid gets into my eye, and my one eye gets super red and irritated. Anyway, anyway, yes, that's my life. But I imagine it's kind of the same feeling where when you're upside down, you got vomit going places it's not supposed to. Like it's going through your nose. It's God knows where it's going. What a horrible experience for people, whether you puked or not. Just being upside down, and let's just assume it's roughly 50 feet. It could be less. It could be 30 feet. People were thinking they're gonna die. What a God for 30 minutes? Yeah, you're upside down. You don't know what's happening. You've seen some of the people working at amusement parks. Some of them, not all of them, some of them, not so, they're not the sharpest knife in the drawer type of thing. Okay? They're not. And that's scary. That's scary. So, firefighters came to the rescue, evaluated everybody. No, there's no lingering effects. It seems like nobody was severely hurt. Here's what's wild. Guess what Oaks Park offered the individuals that were, hanging upside down for 30 minutes, puking all over each other? What do you think they offered them? A $50 refund. Woohoo! What would you do if you just sat upside down, roughly 50 feet in the air for 30 minutes, watching everybody puke all over themselves, probably yourself puking on yourself? What would you say? Well, here's $50. Be like, well, how about you eat a bag of dicks? How about that? Does that work for you? Oaks Park? My goodness. $50 refund. They're going to get sued. They are. Mostly because they offered them a $50 refund. Right? I mean, here's the thing, though. It's emotional trauma. Is it really worth suing them? I don't know. I don't. Part of me says no, but if it happened to my kids, because some of these people that were stuck upside down were kids, and that's the sad part. They're those, depending on their age, they may be freaked out the rest of their lives. So maybe some of the people you could justify a lawsuit, but if it happened to me, I don't know that I would be considering a lawsuit. I'd just be like, can I just get, a season pass for me and my family the rest of my life? Is that fine? And nachos? Hold on. And those soft pretzels with salt and cheese. Rest of our lives. Yes. I mean, that'd be worth it too. That's worth it. The $50 refund is really going to motivate people to sue them more. Seriously. I mean, the ride's only been around, I want to say, so for about maybe 5 years, something like that, roughly, give or take a few years. I mean, this is the first major incident they've had. And, somebody needs to, tell them, don't offer them $50. That's just, no, that's a slap in the face with a bag of dicks. Oh my gosh. This is a wild story. I almost didn't talk about it because it's so crazy. It's sad. And you may have saw the headline. A New York City man was killed in a traffic accident um, after he was apparently jaywalking in a Department of DOT work truck in Brooklyn, plowed into him, and it decapitated him. That's a horrible story. But here's where the story gets a little twisty and turny, and you're like, oh, what's going on here? The guy that got decapitated is a former mobster known as Tony Cakes. He was called Tony Cakes because he went into the dessert business after mobbering. That's an official term of being a former mob guy. Mobbery. I'm in the mobbering business. Anyway, it's sad, horribly sad. I don't know all the details, but I saw a picture of the Department of Transportation driver that hit him because he didn't see it. He didn't see the guy was there, and he was turning, and he plowed into him, and he was just distraught. Now, once the information comes out that the guy he decapitated is a former mobster, dude, I'd be shitting my pants. Right? Like, not only did you kill somebody on accident, right? You find out it's a former mob guy who clearly, I'm guessing, still had mafia ties. I don't think that guy's gonna sleep for anytime soon. That's horrible. And then a lot of people on social media are like, it feels like a hit. This seems like something would happen in The Sopranos. My God, it's sad. It's sad for the guy that was killed, and it's sad for the guy that ran him over and whatever, because his life's never going to be the same. He's going to be always looking over his shoulder, always. Whether the mafia wants to put a hit on him or not, he's going to have that lingering in the back of his head, and it's going to jack him up. That's crazy. It's horrible. Horrible for everybody involved. But it makes me wonder, like, if I was a mob guy, what name would I have? Because Tony Cakes is kind of a cool fucking name. He went into the dessert business. And, like, mine, send it to me. What would my mob name be? You can just send it to me on social media at DeHuff Podcast, or hit me up on my email, dehuffpodcast@gmail.com. I'll read those in an upcoming episode. I just think that would be interesting. What would you call me? I don't even know. I can't even think. I don't even know. You guys are creative. I'm not, clearly. You know what's good? And to get your head right, this is what I need to be doing, get my head in the right place, is head over to NutriFit by Natalie. They're located off 120th and Pecos, right next to Jersey Mike's. And here's what's great. You don't have to let gym intimidation keep you from reaching your wellness goals, because NutriFit by Natalie, they're cool. They're great. They're very relaxing when you go in there. As soon as you walk through the door, you're going to feel the positive vibes. And they're going to help you set realistic health and fitness goals and get you results. They got trainers that are going to give you the tools to support you to reach those goals. Imagine feeling better and moving better and living better. That's where NutriFit by Natalie comes in and helps you. They're going to start fueling your workouts properly. NutriFit by Natalie is going to set you up with a meal plan that's going to actually make you want to stick with it. And what's great is the staff at NutriFit by Natalie is right there to guide you, encourage you, and hold you accountable, which I need. Scott, why are you eating donuts? Because they're delicious and I like them. And they sing to me and make me feel safe. No, they don't. Okay, they're just mostly delicious. They're going to provide a safe, all-inclusive space that encourages confidence and community. In addition to their on-site fitness, Natalie's going to be like, let's talk about your last episode. They have. Here's what's cool. In addition to their on-site fitness, they have partnered with over a dozen different businesses for over a decade to provide off-site training for corporate wellness and a variety of nonprofits. You want to get your employees happy and healthy? Boom! That's where you contact NutriFit by Natalie. Your search for an all-inclusive fitness studio ends today. Go to NutriFitByNatalie.com, or you can go swing by NutriFit by Natalie. They're located at 12005 North Paco Street in Westminster. Schedule a consultation, set some goals. Before you know it, you're going to start seeing those results that you've been waiting for. It's time to meet the new you with NutriFit by Natalie. This is crazy. Part of me thinks this is funny, but then it's kind of jacked up. And I get why this lady lost her job. This waitress was fired after she posted a photo of a guy in a booth that was what looked like he was on a date with a blow-up doll. Part of me wonders, was this for like some social media experiment to be funny? Or was the guy just, he has some mental issues and he's just like really in love with his blow-up doll Sally? Because it wasn't one of those good ones that we've been talking about. It's not the ones that are like silicone and just like you touch it and you're like, is this real? This feels great. It has like, it doesn't talk back to you. No, this is one. It's almost like a bachelor party type of blow up doll. But anyway, she posted it on somewhere on social media and she was making fun of it, making fun of the dude. And then she got fired. Which I kind of agree, because if the dude is truly happy while it's weird, while I don't understand it, I mean, come on. Not hurting anybody, right? But it is funny. Let's be honest. It's funny. I don't know what I would do if I saw that. What would you do if you're working somewhere? You could be a receptionist at a dentist office. You could be, I don't know, selling cars. You could be, working at a restaurant. I don't know. But if some guy comes in and he's just, dragging along his blow-up doll, what are you going to say to that? I don't know. Like, so, by the way, this has the, easy adapter for the the blow-up devices. We'll throw in a blow-up pump for you for free. How about that? You buy this new Chevy S10. Oh, man, that would be funny. It'd be funny, and it would be hard not to laugh. And listen, it would be hard not to stare. And how do you explain that to your kids? What kind of doll is that? I want one of those. That looks comfy. You know what? They're not as comfortable as you think they are, son.
Right, as always.
Ken knows. Ken knows all too well. We've talked a lot about AI and where it's headed. And one of the areas that we've kind of talked about is in like the modeling industry. I don't understand the point of paying for a model anymore. You can, with AI or just almost any software out there, get somebody that is artificially generated and put your product with them, type of thing. If you sell clothing, if you sell accessories, if you sell TVs, whatever, you can have AI create a model that's interacting with your product. Why would you pay a butt ton of money for, Kim Kardashian or whoever? I don't even know anybody that's famous like that anymore. But you see what I'm saying? Well, and we had made comments that eventually this is going to work its way into the acting side, the the picture side of of film and TV. Obviously, writing was a big problem with AI. Well, Ashton Kutcher apparently has come out multiple times, and he just came out again like a week or so ago, and he's essentially saying the industry needs to be prepared for what's coming. And his point being is if you think AI can't infiltrate your industry, you might want to take a step back and reevaluate it. Maybe there are some industries, certain positions that might not be able to be touched, but like film and TV, eventually they're going to find a workaround, and they're going to be able to make it work somehow. They are. It's getting better and better and better. So if you're somebody that is just really hard up to be in that industry, you might want to hurry up and get into it because eventually it's going to get removed. I'm curious of, because like especially drama and stuff like that, I could see where movies like drama and action get overtaken by AI. I'm curious about comedy. Could comedy be taken over by AI? Because a lot of comedians are so spontaneous and they shoot from the hip at times, and they're so quick to rebuttal when something quirky happens. I'm curious if AI will eventually get to that point where it could manipulate that, or mirror that, I should say. That's fascinating to think about. But yeah, the fact that somebody like Ashton Kutcher is coming out and saying, guys, we got to be prepared for what's going to happen. And it goes back to like the whole when the influencer floor just drops away, breaks, and then, there's no need for influencers anymore. Once that area goes away, you're going to have a bunch of people with no skill sets. So, yes, make all the money you can right now, but eventually that's going to disappear, you would think. And maybe it's going to be because of, AI. Maybe it's just, people just get sick and tired of watching random people talk about how shitty their lives are and how they're sharing miscellaneous things that happen. And while their face is just dominating the screen. Have you noticed that, like, on some of these videos of people ranting? Because that's what a lot of, not all of it, but there's a lot on social media like that. And it's just like, okay, y'all, here's my story. I went to Taco Bell today and they did not know how to roll a burrito. Oh my God, it's so simple. But what's annoying is a lot of times they cut it up and it's just like really they're all over on top of their own words because they don't know how to fucking edit. So annoying. But anyway, so eventually the influencer, uh, I don't even know it. My son's staring at me right now, and it's really confusing. Did you break something? You broke a cord. Oh, jeez, dude. Yeah, we gotta throw it away. I'm not gonna mess that up.
Bye, guys.
Hey. Anyway, way to ruin the show. My show's ruined. Anyway, AI. What? What? Hey. Anyway, you know what we need to do? Jump into the mailbag.
Mailbag. You've got mail.
This comes in from Sean. Sean sent me a video on Facebook. If you want to follow me on Facebook, I suggest you do it. I post a lot of random things. Facebook.com/DeHuff Podcast, or just search DeHuff Podcast. Make sure you follow it. This is the video he sent me. I swear I've seen this video before. Maybe it might be a little bit old, But that being said, it's still something interesting to talk about. It's that video of that woman drying her underwear on the overhead vent in an airplane during the flight, right? It's so disgusting. And she's just like, oh, my pants are all wet and stinky, so I'm going to dry them off. Everybody, look at me, my underwear. Here's why that's annoying. Clearly, it's not very hard to figure out. She thinks the world revolves around her, and she doesn't care what anybody else thinks because she thinks everybody should bend to her. It's really reflective of how society is right now. I'm at the Rockies game the other day with my son, like I was telling you before. And during gameplay, these two ladies go down to this walkway and decide they want to get a selfie in front of the field. Well, here's the problem. There is a significant amount of people based on where they're taking the picture and where our seats were, because we were almost behind home plate, but we were in the upper decks. But what's annoying is they did that and they're blocking our view along with, I mean, I'm like looking around and there's like maybe 15 people that are going, what the heck, man? We're trying to watch the game. You wait for in between innings to do that. I took a picture with my son and it was in between innings. That's how we did it. I don't like taking selfies at games, period, based on my wife and I almost getting hit in the face one time, but that's another story for another time. I blame her. I tried to say no. And next thing you know, whoosh, right by our faces. But anyway, so looking at the lady on the airplane with the underwear drying her panties, the ladies at the baseball game just going, hey, you know what? The game's going on, but hey, let's take a selfie and just being oblivious. Here's what's crazy. They were sitting like right next to where we were. So they have an idea of what they're doing. They know what they're doing. They know they're blocking the sight line for people. You wait. People are so self-centered and just so oblivious to how they're treating others. It's disgusting. And if anything from those two examples, what you can take away from that is just, yes, it's good to have self-care and care about yourself, obviously, and the people close to you. But just remember, don't be a fucking dick to everybody around you. Take a moment. Am I being selfish by doing what I'm doing right now? Shit, I'm blocking the view from all these people. Wait a minute. There's innings. There's the top of the inning. There's the bottom of the inning. Oh, wait. Maybe we should do it in the middle of the inning and not be a nuisance to people. Let's not dry my underwear on the overhead vents on the plane. Let's not do that. You still see those videos of people taking off their socks. They're usually on like Frontier Airlines. That's usually where it is. Let's be honest. I'm not a fan of Frontier. And there's people that just like take off their shoes and socks and then they put their feet up in between like where the next person's head's going to be. Or you see people putting their hair back on the, over the seat. People are so self-centered. It's disgusting. It's sad, frustrating. Can't believe it. Can't wrap my head around it. What is wrong with people? And I think with social media, it makes it worse because some of these people are trying to do it for social media clout, to do something silly like that and invasive to other people's life. Also with social media, you're more aware of it because people push it out more and be like, did you see this dipshit? Can you believe it? Now, the lady's taking the selfie. It's not the end of the world. It's annoying, but it's not the end of the world. I wouldn't like fuck unless it was like a really critical part of the game. It's like the 9th inning. Then I'd be more upset and be like, get the fuck out of the way. We're trying to watch the game. God damn it. But the lady on the plane, that's disgusting. God no. Listen, if you have the guts to sit there and dry off your panties on the air vents of the airplane, those panties are probably, they should be in quarantine somewhere. They're probably nasty. Let's be honest. Come on. Right. So gross. Thanks, Sean. Thanks for sending that in, Sean. Gross. Ugh. But kind of funny. Hey, you know what is great and will clear your head if you're having a rough go and you're sitting there going, man, I just had a flight. Somebody's drying their underwear. Then I went to a Rockies game and these people are taking pictures of themselves in the sight line, in the middle of the game. Oh my God. Well, get your head right. Go to High Society Cannabis Dispo and Lounge. It's the first and only licensed cannabis bar in the state of Colorado. It works like an alcohol bar, but it's for cannabis. And you can buy and consume on site. You can purchase up to an ounce of flower or 8 grams of concentrate. They also have pre-rolls and edibles, and they provide everything you need to consume it with. They have 7 big screen TVs so you can catch all your favorite sporting events, or you can even host a watch party. They got Nintendo Switches available to rent, tons of free board games, playing cards, coloring books, and dominoes, all to choose from. They even have a quarter arcade, and they got pinball machines, vintage Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, and more. High Society has tons of events, comedy shows on the first and third Friday of every month. They got live music, open mic nights, drag bingo, craft nights, puff and paints, game nights, and twice a week they got Texas Hold'em games and so much more. Looking for the perfect way to just relax? That's where you need to go. High Society Cannabis Dispo and Lounge. They're open daily from noon to 10. Happy hour runs from noon to 4:20 Monday through Friday. And you know what? It's only 9 minutes from Coors Field. It's open noon to 10. Must be 21 or older to consume. No outside product. Just buy it there. High Society is at 7667 Washington Street. Just GPS to High Society. Thank you guys so much for joining the show. Really appreciate it. You guys are amazing. Hopefully you smiled a little bit in this episode. If you want to interact, I love it when you do. You can either hit me up on social media at DeHuff Podcast, or you can hit me up on email, DeHuffPodcast@gmail.com. Thank you so much for listening. Share it with your friends. Big thanks to NutriFit by Natalie. Go check them out, NutriFitByNatalie.com. Also, High Society Cannabis Dispo and Lounge. And, of course, Bet Online. Go to betonline.ag. It's DeHuff Uncensored. You guys have an amazing day. Let's continue to move forward. I'll talk to you next time.